Okay guys, how's it going out there? Rooster and 10, roostercb.com. Got a Striker 955 all the way here, HPC Plus. So this is, of course, the newest version with the biggest difference being it's got that voltage boost board in it to help boost the voltage up that actually gets to the radio and help sustain that a little bit. So again, we're at 14.9. You guys can see by the time we get to the front of the radio, we're at 15.1. Hello, 1, 2, get down, audio. But don't have a lot of drop. And also having the AM regulator upgrade helps support that as well. It's never a bad idea to have that regulator upgraded. But anyway, this one was sent in by a customer. He bought this one from here originally. He ended up having a failure with it. And I don't remember exactly what he said was going on, but I'll kind of give you guys the layout here. He's got a Fatboy 4-pill 2879 bass amp, which was also sent in for repair. We'll do another video on it. And the pills ended up being bad. Transistors ended up taking a failure on it. So I'm not sure whether he had an antenna issue that caused all these mishaps to happen, like high SWR from the antenna, or this radio being too much for the amplifier could have also damaged the amp and then in turn damaged the radio. Could have had a super high input SWR on the amp. That ends up tearing the radio up because the transistors blew in the amp. I don't really know the exact chain of events that happened, or it could have been just a bad antenna tore everything up. But at the end of the day, my advice going forward to him would be not to use this radio with this 4-pill 2879. You can use something like this if you've got Toshiba transistors, 2879Cs, or you would need at least a 6-pill standard HG2879. You're going to need a 4-pill 2879C at minimum, or a 6-pill 2879 standard. This radio just does too much power for a regular 4-pill 2879. So again, I don't know whether the radio damaged the 4-pill and then in turn the 4-pill, because it was damaged, ended up causing trouble with the radio, or if it was a bad antenna that caused both. I don't really know. It's hard to tell the chain of events that took place there. But radio was damaged. It needed to be repaired. Finals. And the SWR circuit, it's got, that SWR protection and where it picks up your SWR over here. Check, 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 check. Audio, check, check, check. Audio, check, check, check. Audio. But what was going on is the radio was going into SWR protection, even if there wasn't a high SWR. The SWR protection circuit had been damaged, and it wasn't even reading like the SWR properly. Check, 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 check. Audio, check, check. Audio. But now it is. So anyway, his radio is back 100%. Again, I know that's like a long 3-minute explanation for what's going on here. But I just want to put that out there in case anybody else is thinking about running one of these with a 4-pill. You're asking for trouble, okay? 4-pill 2879C is okay. 6-pill 2879 standard, also okay. 4-pill HG 2879, not okay. Let's show you what this thing's doing and make sure it's back at 100% before we get it boxed up and get his 4-pill tested. Then we'll send him a bill on both of these, okay? Let's get over here to the bird. 250 watt scale. This is PEP first. I know we usually do average power first, but this is audio. Check, 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 check. Audio, check, 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 check. 160 or so PEP. Let's go to average power, and we'll do average power with RF power all the way down. Check. Audio check. So 45 from like 3 or 4 watts. And if you want to turn it all the way up, check. Shoo, get on with yourself. Check. You see what I'm saying about these 955s, these new ones? That is enough to completely destroy a 4-pill. Now if we're just talking into it normal like this, not doing the check. 25 swinging, what, 75 average, 70 average, something like that. Check, check, check. Audio. Audio. Check. There you guys go. So, doing a good job there. Clamp meter. We can show you what this guy's drawing on the clamp meter here. Check. 11 amps. So you know this thing is actually really getting with it. Okay, so the radio is good to go here. We'll get the 4-pill hooked up, do a separate video on it. And again, just this is the way things can happen, okay? I don't know, like I said, it could have been a bad antenna that caused it and caused the whole damn chain reaction of bad events here, but or it could have been just because the radio was too much for the amp. At the end of the day, you know, whatever the case may be, a costly repair for both units. So ended up needing new transistors, etc. in the amp, new finals, SWR circuit repaired on this. And I wasn't even sure that we were going to be able to get this, the SWR, you know, protection circuit repaired. Because that's something, you know, that's, you know, I don't know if you guys have seen inside these radios, but ultra small components. And sometimes some of that stuff's pretty tricky. Okay, guys, we'll wrap this video up and get another one. This is just a complimentary video for the customer, no extra charge or anything like that. Just like to show him that his striker is back good to go. All right, see you, bye. Click. Okay, guys, how's it going out there? Rooster and 10, roostercb.com. This is the second piece for the customer that he sent in for repair. Mr. Jonathan, this is his 4-pill HG2879 with bias and sideband delay. Nice run little amp here now. It's good to go. Unfortunately, had some damage, and I was reading his note that he left, and it doesn't seem like it was caused by a bad antenna. He was already aware that it was the 955 overdriving it. Again, I don't think this one came from here. I don't remember selling him this because I certainly probably would have told him to buy something a little bit bigger for that 955. But preamp works, sideband delay works. We're going to test it with my Connex. Probably the handiest thing I had sitting here to test it with. It does about 50 PEP and about, on low, it'll do about, you know, 100 or 15 average. We may turn it up on high, do about 20 average on high. So 50 PEP on high or low. But that's what we're going to test it with. Make sure that it runs. Obviously runs on 110 and everything. But bias circuit needs repaired. All 4 HG2879s. Obviously, you don't want to mix and match transistors, even if you've got, you know, some good ones. All of these in here, unfortunately, were basically toast. I mean, extremely low gain on them. Not really usable for anything. So, regardless, you would have wanted to replace all 4 anyway, but all 4 of them were basically toast. You know, and then everything that goes along with it when the pills blow. You know, repairing the whole circuit, the resistors and everything else. So that said, let's get it fired up here and see how it does. Again, we'll test it with my Connex and see what she does here. 1,000-watt slug, bottom scale. That's on peak, by the way. Audio. About 675. And this is going to be on average. So we can put some more dead key in. It's not keying anything. Let's go to high. So 2 1/4 average with about 20 average going in. There you go. About 250 average actually. So it's pretty good with 20 in. I would not go over about 40 bird on this thing. 40 average. Almost 700 PEP. So here's my recommendations to him. Not run that 955 back into this. You know, it's going to tear it up again. I showed you guys what that 955 is capable of doing. You know, it'll sit there and talk 50 and 60 average and audio, you know, between 75 and 100. That's going to be toast for this 4-pill if he does that again. I would get something probably like a Striker 447, not fully upgraded, just like with a performance tune done to it. Anytone Quad 5 Plus, maybe a Quad 5 N2. I'm trying to think of different radios. I mean, there's a lot of Connex and Ranger radios you could use, but the 955 is just too much. You're going to want to stay about 100 or so PEP going into this, maybe 115, 120 PEP tops, and about 40 watts average, modulated average power. And that's going to be plenty for this thing. I mean, you guys see what it's doing with 50. It's doing 700 watts almost with 50 PEP and doing 250 average. Well, the absolute most you really want to see out of this box is about 400 average and about 1,000 PEP. So we're well over halfway there to that mark. So it doesn't need a lot more drive. But that's it. I got to get a hold of him. And like I said, it's unfortunate, costly repair. I hate it. I always feel guilty about this. You know, we're not in the repair business here. I don't advertise to be in the repair business. So I always feel guilty when these customers have to like foot the bill for these repairs, because I know it sucks. Probably got a pit in their stomach about it, but again, that's just part of it. I mean, I've had some costly repairs myself, and it's just the name of the radio game. So I hate it. I hate it for him, but again, just part of it, guys. All right, thanks, Rooster in 10, roostercb.com. He should be back 10-8. All right, see you, bye.